Moving on to our next agenda item, the Eagle Landing Park stair removal update.
Okay, I'll provide a short update on this project. I'll start with a quick overview of how the project came to be, followed by a review of the schedule. So beginning in 2002, when the property was purchased, we have had periodic geotechnical investigations. And those have been done early on. They were done by Shannon Wilson, a geology firm that helped us when they were purchasing the property and at the beginnings of the design of the stairways. And then in later years, we've had geoengineers out there. There have been other geologists on site that did not work for the city who have also provided reports over the years. There's been one thing consistent in all of these reports, especially those from Shannon and Wilson and geoengineers, and that's that there are active landslides in the vicinity of the stairs. The hillside is unstable and will be so into the future. And the cause of the landslide is two things: wave action eroding at the toe of the slope, and groundwater which seeps year round and destabilizes the different layers of earth above the slope. The groundwater area that contributes, or the recharge area that contributes to the groundwater, likely consists of several blocks upslope from the site. So the recent installation of a stormwater pipe is not expected, nor was it ever expected, to improve the condition, as those seeps are year round and they can collect groundwater from a significantly larger area than what our stormwater pipe collects from. So looking back through the photos over the years, beginning in 2011, the stairs were experiencing chronic erosion problems, and you can see those in this picture as the toe of the stairs was being manipulated by the waves. Then in 2013, you can see here, there's some, Dan's pointing to it on the screen behind me, but where the green arrow is, we began to get some erosion, and it's steep, unstable cut right about where that green arrow is, that began to contribute to failure of one of the landings of the stairs. Then in 2015, a second scarp and a landslide developed adjacent to that one, which continued to erode the previously buried foundations for those stairs. So these concrete structures are have pin piles under them. As you can see, all of that used to be embedded in the earth. Now these ones, you can see a significant erosion, and they're just kind of hanging there in the air, unsupported. So in 2015, a couple of these lower ones were removed in an emergency project that took them out by barge, which you can see in this picture. Then in 2017, a landslide occurred on the adjacent property. This one is only about less than 150 feet away from the stairs themselves. And this slide is also adjacent to an older landslide on the beach. So all of these slides being so close in proximity begin to merge a little bit. The two that are in the park proper, one began in 2012, one in 2014. Those two are now connected with a headscarp and have joined up and are becoming kind of a larger coalescing slide. So let's see. Here you can see also in 2018 continued erosion, and you can see a pin pile there that's been exposed and is kind of hanging there. And then on the next slide, you can also see erosion at the toe of the beach in 2018 that continues to cause destabilization. A lot of these existing slides are now covered in light vegetation, but they remain unstable. So we have multiple active slides in a very narrow piece of our coastline. They've all been having progress every couple of years for the last 10 or 12 years. The SEPA review for the original stairway project specifically stated that the city had no intent to prevent this natural current of the bluff feeding sediment to the beach. Furthermore, current regulations would not typically allow us to put a structure in there to stop that behavior. That is a natural process, and even our own shoreline master program supports continuing to have the bluff naturally feed the sediment on the beach. So it's not likely that we would get a permit to install a wall or other structure that would permit that ongoing sliding in this situation. Tree failure is another thing that's going on regularly on the site. This is one that happened in 2020. As you can see, it very much destroyed the stairs, the railing, and that has been a very common occurrence, and the Parks Department is called out there often for trees that have been affected by the landslide areas and continue to lean and slowly fall and fail. The staircase is currently not covered by our insurer, and in consultation with them, they will not insure it into the future because of the activity of the landslide there. They've also advised us that reopening the stairs due to the increased liability risk associated with encouraging the public to be in an area of active converging landslides is not a good idea. So moving on, the design of the current project to remove the stairs is complete. They will be removed using the least invasive technique we could find for the slope, which is through a method similar to skyline logging or skyline yarding used in forestry practices, where the stairs are removed in segments using a cable system that runs from the top of the hill out to a barge in the water, and will pick the individual pieces up off the slope and take them out to the barge. This minimizes risk to both workers and the hillside itself from continuing to disturb it. We're currently waiting for a permit from the state, which we expect to receive in mid-March, I believe, is when that's due back to us. Once we receive that, we can incorporate any stipulations in that permit into the bid package and hopefully award a project in May or June. The removal of the stairs, originally, I was looking back in 2017, the council directed us to remove a portion of the stairs based on what we've talked about. And then later in 2018, based on the continuing progress of the slope, the council decided to remove all of the stairs. So that's where we are now. They also originally wanted us to, at that time, try to leave some of the foundations in place. But as we went on with our analysis with the geotechnical group, we determined that the presence of the foundations and the pin piles became a hazard themselves, and that those, when they're unsupported, as time goes on, can become projectiles going down the slope, and they recommended just removing all of it. So in 2018, the council at that time voted to remove the entire thing, which is what we've been working toward since then. Then in I believe it was 2019, 2019 for the 2021 budget is when we included budget for the project. And since then, we've been working toward getting the design complete, coming up with a solution that we have selected. We've done the environmental work. And again, now we're just waiting on this one final permit before we proceed. That permit will tell us when we can do this work. We're expecting that they may limit us to sometime this fall, but it'll be based on what they decide is the least impact to the environment. So when we get that permit back, we will proceed with add an award for the project. And that's all I have.
Great, thank you so much.